Blue Table fans! I'm here with Dan and Florescentina. Do you know that wasn't a good introduction? Let's try over. Hey, Blue Table fans! I'm here with Dan. Dan is all the way from Salt Lake. He is going to show us what Malifaux is all about. He's unpacking right now. Oh, look at this rule book. Let's take a look.
Oh, the artwork's
Weird
fantastic.
Miniatures. Has a cool name.
It's actually the second rule book. Here's the first one.
Oh, okay, great. Rising Powers.
Oh, that's my alarm.
Through the Breach.
There's some fantastic artwork in those.
Yeah, that is neat. Well, how many models do you think are in the range, all told?
Well, I'm not even sure anymore. There's quite a few because they're constantly every month releasing 6 or 7 models.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And there was a ton to start with. Every box set you get 4 to 6 models in every box set. And then individual blisters.
Are these
Those are
updates to the rules?
Yeah,
errata.
just kind of cut out.
But this is a first edition rule book, right?
That is. Now,
So there
Weird is
probably
really good
bad
about,
things happen.
Yeah, that's the slogan.
great.
Bad things happen. Weird is really good about releasing updates very regularly, FAQs, erratas.
Okay.
They've just come out with a rules manual, which is all the rules from the books condensed down without all the fluff.
Okay.
So it's just 119 pages or so of
That's a
straight
PDF
rules.
or something online? Or
No, it's a
what is
physical book, but they
Okay.
also released it as a PDF,
Okay.
which is free.
Oh, right.
They just took out all the pretty pictures.
All right.
These
Well,
are your
that's good.
models that you guys painted.
Yeah, I know. They look awesome.
Yes, they're fantastic.
That's how we know. All right.
Rita and Steamboard.
So you're going to show us how to play the game.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready.
A large
Let's
nutshell,
go.
but a nutshell. Okay, so
Well, hold on a
decks of
second.
cards.
So yeah, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
there's no dice rolling in Malifaux.
Okay.
So the decks of cards is how you determine. Again, great, fantastic artwork.
Is it like a typical deck of cards, like 52
It is.
cards? Okay.
And you don't have to use these decks of cards. You can use
Regular
a normal
playing
card
cards.
deck.
Okay.
You just substitute suits for the different suits
Okay.
that are in there. Pretty
So
straightforward, though.
in a typical
High
game,
card.
how many models per side?
They range anywhere from about 5 or 6 on up.
Okay.
There's
right.
really no upper
Definitely a
limit.
skirmish game then.
Yep, definitely.
And today you're just going to show us 2 models
right,
fighting.
What we're going to do is
Okay.
everything you can, or most everything you can do in a round, we can accomplish with just showing you 2 models, and I can control
Okay. I'm ready.
what happens.
And go.
And we're not ready yet.
Okay, I will hold on. Okay, we're almost ready. So this is the card for the model?
Every model has a card.
A reference card.
It's got all their stats on it, and any abilities that aren't what they call common abilities.
Okay,
are all
so it's like a
listed out.
little mini rule book.
Exactly, for each
Okay.
individual model.
So 2 players would have 2 decks.
Right.
And you pulled some off. Why is that?
These are what's in your hand.
Okay, so you have a hand. How many do you have?
6 in the case of a
Okay.
brawl. There's a scrap,
Okay.
which is a bigger match when you have 7 in your hand.
Okay.
At the beginning of a turn, actually, let's switch these around. At the beginning of a turn, the first thing you do is if you have any cards in your hand you don't want, you discard and redraw.
Oh, okay. That's
And
nice.
this becomes your fate, your hand that you have your fate cards
Right.
in. And these will let you change the outcome of stuff you draw later on.
Okay. Okay. I'm ready. Wait, what's this little bead?
These are soul stones.
Okay, soul stones. Awesome.
At
So
this
they
point,
each have 1 soul?
At this point, we assume they have got 1 left.
Oh, okay. So kind of like hit points.
Exactly. Well, not exactly like hit points, but soul stones are what you use to build your army. So when you decide to play a game, you say, we're going to play a match that's 25 soul stones. You have 25 points to hire your crew
Okay.
and put it on the thing. Anything you have left over goes into your Soulstone cache that you then use to further augment abilities. And
Oh, that's
controls.
kind of neat. Okay.
So
All right.
in this
so
case, they have 2 left.
let's see it. And you know what I almost asked? Where are your dice? Do you need dice? But no dice. Okay,
Now,
I'm ready.
with dice, it gives you the randomness.
Can you hold on just a second?
Sure.
Right now, people are like, first off, they're like, let him talk. Let him explain the game. Okay? Second thing, get on with it. Okay, I get it.
Exactly. Yes, there's no dice. It's all cards. Dice, randomness. The cards, they give you the illusion of not quite as much randomness because there's only 52 cards, so if you can count. But there's still some randomness in there because you never know what your deck's going to hold. In our case, completely not random. I've preset the cards. Remember that. All right, so 2 people. We've got Perdita, who is a master. So you have 1 master per crew. And we're assuming she's the only one left. Perdita. And then you have the Steamborg, which is not a master. He's just a minion, but he's really big and cool. So we're going to use him. So the first thing we do, we draw our cards, we discard any we don't want, and then we're going to move on to initiative. The way initiative works is we flip a card. Highest card wins initiative. Perdita's got a 12, Steamborg's got a 5. Now at this point, either or, both players, can spend a soul stone. So Steamborg's going to get rid of his soul stone to reflip his initiative card, giving him a chance to possibly beat. Now there's a 13 and a 14 in the deck, so he could beat that 12, and at this point he really wants to go first. However, he doesn't. So the initiative order will be Perdita and then the Steamborg, and you alternate back and forth activations. Now, Perdita has 3 actions that she can do in a round because she's got a ability called Fast +1. So she gets to 3 actions as opposed to 2 actions that normal people get. So for her first action, she is going to move her 6 inches closer to the Steamborg. So there's movement. Same for every game you ever play, measured out. Her next thing she's going to do is attempt to cast a spell. She's going to cast a spell called Obey, and she has a target number that she is trying to get. This is the Obey spell. Her casting cost is 14, and you see the little mask next to it. That's the suit that she has to get in order to cast the spell.
Okay.
Since it is a spell, first thing she does is set the target number. She's trying to get to 14. 5 of Rams is not going to do it, so that's when she turns to her hand.
Okay.
Realizes she's got an 8 of Masks, which fulfills the mask requirement for the spell, and gets her up to 14 because
Wait,
her
8
casting.
plus 5 is 13.
It actually replaces the 5. She has a
it does.
casting of 7.
Oh, okay, so she starts with 7.
So whatever the stat is plus the card is how
Okay.
you determine what the total is.
Now, could you have, instead of flipping the card, could you have just pulled that out of your hand?
No,
and
you
say,
always
use that?
start by flipping a card.
You start, okay, to
And
see
then
if
you
you
can
do it.
cheat it by playing one out of
Okay,
your
got
hand.
it. Oh, that's
So
neat.
she cheats it
Very flavorful. Got it.
to a 15. At which point, since this is an opposed, it becomes an opposed duel at this point.
Right.
Because Obey makes this guy do whatever she wants him to do.
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
So he wants to avoid
Resist
this at
that.
all
Got
costs. So he pulls a 4 of Ravens. Now
So does he have a base stat now?
he does.
Too?
It is his willpower.
Okay, which is what?
6.
6?
So he's at
4.
10. But
So that would be 10.
he replaces the 4 with a 10. Now he's at 16.
Okay, so he beats it.
So 16, he survives it.
Okay.
She's got one more action because she's got the fast and decides that she wants to
Okay.
kill him. So she's going to make a ranged attack.
Got it.
Now she's got to be within range, and all her stats are listed.
Okay.
Her range is 10 inches.
Got it.
So she could have shot him from way back, but she tried to do the Obey thing first. And it tells you what's going to happen there.
Well, if the range is only 10, you're probably at like 9 now. I don't think you were in range to begin with.
About 9.
Oh, look at that. It's 9.
9. So,
Who can see distances with his eyeballs? Okay, go ahead. So you're in range.
yeah,
Now
so
what
she's
happens?
in range, so she starts off, becomes an opposed duel, ranged attack. First thing she does is draws a card, and he draws a card. Unlike a spell, the first thing you do is both draw a card when it's in a ranged attack.
Okay.
Now this goes off of her attack bonus, which is
Okay.
listed on her weapon as
So it's
7.
always stat plus card.
Yes, stat plus card.
Okay.
Her stat is 7. His defense is 4. So he's at a 14.
She's at a 13.
She's at a 13. She is losing
Ooh, not that
the
good.
duel. Now, because she is losing, whoever's losing the duel when it's opposed gets the chance to change the outcome first.
Okay.
So since she is losing, she is going to change the outcome. Now she's changed it to 9. Her turn's not over because she can further change it because she has an ability to use soul stones
Okay.
because she's a master.
Got it.
She decides she's going to spin this soul stone because she really wants to hit this steam board.
Right. So wait, 9 isn't doing it yet?
9 gives her a total of 16.
Right. And
Which-
but wasn't his thing only 14?
It is 14.
Okay.
But he still has a chance to cheat fate.
Oh,
And if
okay.
he's got a 13 in his hand, that's going to beat that.
Right.
So what happens when she spins a soul stone?
But this player wouldn't normally know that this person had whatever in his hand.
Right,
It'd be
hands
kind of
are
iffy.
hidden
Okay, got
off.
it. Neat.
But since we know he's
Okay,
got one.
got it.
She spins a soul stone. Now when she spins a soul stone to add to her attack, it actually adds to...
On top. A joker.
Now this is the red joker.
Okay.
Anything good that can happen in the game is personified by the red joker.
Okay.
Anything bad that can happen in the game is personified by the black joker.
Like a critical hit.
Right. Red joker is 14,
Okay.
and it can be any suit she wants,
Okay, great.
which is going to be important for her next step. So she gets to add 14 to her total right now, which comes up to 30-ish.
Okay, got it.
Actually. He knows there's no way for him to beat that
Right.
whatsoever, so he just takes it.
Time to take the bullet.
Time to take it. She called this a ram, which is important because she gets another ram when she attacks.
Okay.
That's 7 plus a ram. And what that allows her to do is do a trigger, which is critical strike for every ram that she has.
Okay.
So on the back here it says critical strike pre-springer. So for every ram she gets to add another point to the damage total.
Okay.
So she gets 1 for the gun, 1 for the joker, that's 2 more points. Now she determines how much damage she does. She beat him by more than 11 points.
Right.
So she gets to flip a card for damage, plus an additional card for damage, and she gets to pick which one she wants
Okay,
to take.
highest of the two. Got it.
So she picks a 4 out and a 10 out. The 4 has weak on it,
Uh-huh.
so that means she's doing weak damage off of her gun,
Okay.
2, 3, and 5. The 10 is moderate, so of course she's going to pick the 10
Right.
to do the moderate damage, which is 3 plus the 2 for her trigger.
Right.
Triggers apply any time that they apply.
Okay.
She's got some combat triggers, she's got some defensive triggers, some people have some casting triggers. It all
Okay.
just depends. And it's all on the card, makes it nice and easy. So then he takes 5 points of damage. 3 from the gun, 2 from the rams. His hit points are on the side here. He's
Oh,
down
okay.
to 5. Because you've got
So
the
he
hit
had
points
10?
on total. Yeah, he has 10 to start with, the wounds.
So he takes
So-
5 damage,
So
basically.
he's down by
Okay.
5. That was her last turn. She's done. So now it's the Steamboard's turn. He didn't kill her. Or she didn't kill him, so he gets to
Right.
go. The Steamboard
This could be
declares
bad.
that he wants to charge. The charge uses
So he
2
has
actions.
action points.
He has action. Everybody has
And
action
he has
points.
2.
2. She has 3 because she has fast.
Right, got it.
He technically gets another action, but a general action point he gets 2. And he decides to charge. Charge uses both his action points, but gives him a melee attack at the end.
Okay.
His charge is listed on his stat sheet. He charges,
Ah,
comes in contact. He's actually got a range of 2 inches on his
okay.
melee
Like
attack.
reach.
Yeah, so he charges 8 inches, which puts him about there. She's still within 2 inches.
Okay, got it.
He gets to hit her. The other thing it does is it adds a positive pool to your damage for charging. So he would get to pull 2 and pick the highest one if he hits her. So he charges. This is a melee attack charge. So he draws a 6.
Okay.
She draws a 4.
Is there a base stat for this, too?
There is, and it's just his attack.
Okay, so
Which is
he
7.
has base 7 plus 6 is 13, and
Right.
what does she have?
She's using her defense, which is 8
Plus 4 is 12.
Plus 4 is
So
12.
that's losing.
So she is losing at this point. But she decides.
So wait a minute, but doesn't the attacker get to replace his card first?
No.
That's not how it goes.
Whoever's
Whoever's
losing
losing
the
gets a
duel.
chance to.
An attacker always wins in a case of a tie.
Okay, got it.
So at a tie, the defender is always losing.
Right.
So whoever is losing the duel, at this point, if the Steamborg was losing, he could go first.
Okay.
She's
got
losing,
it.
she can go first. She does not want to get hit by the Steamborg because he
Right.
does quite a bit of damage.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? We forgot something.
What's that?
Oh, let's back up just a step. She's got a trigger. When he charged, she's got a trigger called, what is it called? Quick draw.
Okay.
It's a 0 action.
Oh, that's neat.
So it doesn't cost
okay,
anything.
Got it.
So whenever someone declares a card, she gets to do an immediate strike against them.
Okay, got it.
So he goes, let's see, yeah, so she's doing the strike this time. With the 4 and 7 is 11. 6 and 4 is 10. So she hits him with no change, well, by 1. So in this case, since she didn't beat him by 11 or more,
Right.
she doesn't get a positive draw. If you beat him by 0, you draw 3 cards,
Okay.
take the lowest. You beat him from 1 to 5, you draw 2 cards, take the lowest. 6, you just pull a card and take it. 11 or more, you get to add to it.
Okay. Wow.
So she gets to pull 2, and she has to take the lowest card. So she pulls that, that's severe. So if she pulls another severe, then she does severe damage to him, which would kill him at this
Okay.
point. But she pulls the Black Joker.
Oh,
So, Black Joker, you always have to take the Black Joker when you get it.
Right.
The Black Joker counts as 0. No suit, no damage.
bad things happen.
Bad things happen. So anytime you draw the Black Joker, it automatically overrides everything
Man,
else.
the art really is good in this.
They are. They're fantastic. The guy they got doing the art is just, well, the guys they've got doing it is just amazing.
Right.
So she
That's
hit him,
pretty
but
slick.
she did no damage. So he gets to do his charge at this point. And so now she is defending against his charge. 7 and 7 is 14 for his charge. Her defense is 7 and 8. What was that? 13? No. Blasted.
So he's losing at this point.
Yeah, his charge is losing because he has 14, she has 15. So this, since he's losing the duel, he gets to cheat fate first. Really wants to hit her, so he plays this 13, which, other than a Black Joker, this is the highest card he can play,
Okay.
which raises his stat to 20. She has a 13 as well, so now the target number is 20. She plays a 13, but since she's got 8, she's now at 21.
Oh,
She wins. He doesn't
nice.
do any damage.
Whiff.
Yes, pretty much. Big charge and a miss.
That was bad.
That was
for
bad.
her.
However, good for her because she's not dead yet. The Steamborg has a thing called Melee Expert +1,
Okay, got it.
which means he gets another melee attack if he's in range.
Oh, okay.
Whereas she got a general action to do whatever she wanted to, he has one that's specifically tied to his attack.
Okay.
So
So
he
he's
gets
used
to-
2 actions, but because of melee expert, he gets an extra action
Right.
if he can. Okay,
Right.
got
So he's close enough. He does another action. He decides to do an attack since that's really all he can do with it.
it. Right.
So he is attacking. She's defending. 19 and a 19.
Right. So attacker wins the tie.
Attacker wins. Now she's got nothing in her hand to cheat that with.
Okay.
2 low cards. She can't change that. 19 he still wins, but it's at a 0. So it means he has to
Right.
flip 2 cards in addition to 1 card and take the lowest of them all.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Lowest
So
is 6.
lowest is a moderate, which is
Okay.
6 is moderate. I've got these in these sleeves. They're
No, I love
kind
it.
of
What are you
obscure.
talking about?
So he's doing moderate damage.
Okay. So under
moderate is
damage, there's
5.
3 numbers. Like this one says 4, 5, 6.
Weak,
So he does
moderate, and
5
severe.
points of damage. Got it.
So he does 5 points a year. Now he has got an ability called Decapitate,
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that.
and it's triggered whenever he draws. This card is a ram
Right.
when he drew the initial total,
Okay.
and he gets a tome for his attack. So since he fulfills both of those, he gets to do Decapitate. Now, Decapitate states that when determining damage, the defender with his Executioner Strike, it will kill the defender automatically, unless the defender can discard 2 control cards
Okay.
or 2 soul stones from their pile.
So no soul stones.
But she happens to have the cards.
2 control cards.
So
Okay.
she discards 2 control cards. He's done with his actions. She's done with her actions.
Okay.
Round is over. We start it all over again.
Okay, good. So that was it.
That's it, yeah.
Very nice.
In a
And of
nutshell.
course, if it was 2 expert players, this would be like 30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
And
nice.
that probably wouldn't have happened. Tactics aside, that's
Right.
not really what you want to do.
Well, for the purpose of the demonstration, you actually set this whole thing up. Like
Yes.
you carefully put the cards in a certain order.
Yeah, yeah.
Haha, that's
Because-
awesome.
Well,
No, I think it's great.
It allows me to show you how to move,
Sure,
how to range
without
attack,
weird
how to
things
melee
happen,
attack,
right.
how to cast a spell, how to defend, how to cheat fate, which is a big part of the game, cheating fate. Taking the cards in your hand and changing
Right.
what's happening on the battlefield.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. in a
Well,
nutshell.
thank you very much,
Yeah,
Dan.
no problem.
All right, so now you got to look at my ugly mug. Let's rate Malifaux based on Sean's criteria for the best miniatures game ever. And I can't remember all the things. Did you see my YouTube
I did
post
see
about
it.
that? Yeah, great. By the way, that is an ongoing series. I am not done with that.
Number 1,
Okay.
why Sean doesn't like this game.
Yeah, is. We all know it. Everyone wants to
character's
say
named.
it. They're all named.
Yeah, they're not all named.
A game with all named
They're all
specific
named.
things.
Yeah.
Well, you could always change that and make
Oh,
up
yeah.
your own thing. But then that would kind of make my whole thing against named characters a moot point. I want to make up my own stuff. What's stopping me? All right. Cool miniatures.
Very cool.
That's a bonus. Dice. Do like the thing with the dice, i.e. no dice. The cards are kind of neat. Downside, just in my book, is having cards at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a toughie because I mean, look at the board here. It takes up like a 6-inch strip.
Yeah.
And imagine if you had 8 guys.
Right.
You'd really have a lot of things
The
going
game
on
table
each
is
side.
3x3. That's what they
Oh, okay.
recommend
Well,
for
that's
the-
a saving grace because if you had a 4x4 table, you would
could have
have
foot
enough
to-
for the sides, and so I guess that's okay. Support looks like they got miniatures
Support,
coming out. How
they
long
got
have they
a
been around?
ton. A few years now. Actually, they've had their miniatures for a long time.
Right.
And then they kind of built a game around them.
Right.
So
And that's the typical thing
Yeah.
that I see. I'm not going to say I mock that, but that's what you see. You see some guys like da 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 da. Oh, let's make it. The game is an afterthought, you know, and you really have to plan it better than that. But this obviously mechanically seems to work smoothly.
It does.
And it's not so complicated that you'd be intimidated by
No,
that.
not at all. Not at all.
Of course,
And-
people do learn Warhammer Fantasy, so
Right.
you know that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right. And
Lots
yeah.
of support though. I mean, they constantly are updating their errata, their FAQ, like the rules manual.
Uh-huh.
You can go and get that for free.
Right.
That PDF, and that's got basically every rule that's in these 2 books
Right.
mashed down together into 119 pages of.
Okay.
Okay, here it is.
So I've got to give Malifaux an A+ for barrier to entry, which is you get your PDF, you get 6 figures, and you're golden. Where do you get the cards? Is that a separate thing? You just
come
buy
with
it. They come with what?
the stat cards come with each figure.
Right, but I'm talking about the
These- yeah,
deck.
They sell the decks, but you don't even have
Okay.
to use those decks. You can use them
Right.
instead of playing cards.
Well, no, you really do need to use these because they're freaking awesome.
They're awesome.
And how much are the decks of cards?
About $7.
Oh, that's not bad. And the boxes of guys, like a team?
A
Of
team
guys?
of guys, which by the way has everything in it you need to just start playing. A box has an entire crew in it.
Right.
You don't need to.
And so how
buy
much
any
is that,
miniature.
do you know? What's the retail
Anywhere
on those?
from $30 to about 45, 50.
Whoa! So even if you pick up the rule book, you're still under 100
Oh, yeah,
retail.
Easily.
That is really slick. And if we painted it, you'd be probably under 200. Not sure exactly, but that is good for getting started. That is not bad.
And like I said, the models are
How many different factions are there?
There are 5 factions.
Okay,
There is the Guild, which is your Wild West.
right? Like sheriffs and stuff?
Yeah, they're all Wild West. The Anarchist, or arcanist actually.
Arcanist, not anarchist.
Which are steampunk, magic-driven type.
Okay, like they make machines and stuff?
Yes, which indicative of this guy.
Okay.
There are resurrectionists, which are all about undead
Like
zombies.
zombies and stuff.
And then there are what's
Got it.
called the Neverborn, which are everything out of your nightmares.
Okay.
Like your werewolves and your
Right.
vampires and
Killer teddy
demons.
bears and crap.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then
Got
there's
it.
the last group is called outcasts, which
Okay.
are mercenaries,
Okay.
which basically kind of fit everywhere in there. And you're not limited, when you pick a faction, you're not limited by who you can buy, as long as they fit the requirements of either having mercenary, or in the case of this guy, he's a construct. So there's kind of some cross factions that you
Oh,
can
okay,
hire
good.
into.
That's nice. That's a nice feature. All right, well, overall, I'm going to give Malifaux... Hold on a second. I'm going to give Malifaux... Should I be hard? Yeah, I'm going to be
You should
hard.
be honest.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna give Malifaux a B, and that's being hard. That's reserving the A as the Olympic 10, because, and that's just because of a personal pet peeve, which is named characters. And what can they do? They're new, but they are coming out with new stuff every month. That's a big deal. Game's been out for a few years, so longevity's everything.
I should point out that
I'm ready.
in the rule books, you don't really have to get the miniatures.
Uh-oh.
Every
Okay, go ahead.
miniature with every stat card
Okay.
is listed in the rule books.
Right. So what are you saying? You could use proxy figures?
You can totally proxy it until you
Okay.
figure out you like playing it.
Well, oh yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
First step,
Well, I have
get
to
a
say,
rule book.
I am very positively impressed by Malifaux. I didn't really know what to expect. And but low barrier to entry, that makes it not such a big gamble to start in on it. And then kind of see where the game goes. Because I remember Privateer Press coming out, what was it, 2002, something like that? And they just had their 4 faction books, or faction boxes, and that was it. 4 things that you would get. And I remember playing it in like 2003 and being like, wow, this game is really intricate. And so that's possibly what we're seeing here. We're seeing a new genre. Maybe on down the line they'd come out with large like resin figures and stuff like that. That'd be really neat. We'll see where they go. All right, well, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.